Hello and welcome to another video. So what we're going to do is take a look at an article that popped off yesterday from Tech Radar. It's been picked up by a couple other places, and ports are usually a pretty popular thing when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, so I thought this one might be interesting to go over, and we'll talk about the Switch a little bit real quick. Before I hop into this, I just wanted to say I do have some more GeForce Now and Shadow PC videos coming for you. I am working on getting my hands on some more hardware to test those on also, and I'll be working on those. I've also got a DLSS 2.0 video that I think will be pretty interesting, especially for you RTX card owners out there, coming out soon. Hopefully I can get it done tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow. So anyways, let's jump over here and take a look at this. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X games reportedly coming to Nintendo Switch. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are without a doubt going to get some great games when they launch at the end of 2020. But what about Nintendo Switch? Well, the Switch owners might get a slice of that same action as well. However, I am a bit doubtful on this. I think it's going to depend on what kind of game we're talking about. So an interview with Maxi Geek via Tech Radar, the article I'm talking about that came out yesterday, with a developer from studio Virtuos Games, has revealed some interesting information about the Switch. Virtuos is known for porting older Xbox and PlayStation games to the Nintendo console, including LA Noire and Dark Souls Remastered. Yes, LA Noire was a good game. I beat that on the Xbox 360 when it launched. They then remastered that game for the Xbox One, and then they ported the remastered LA Noire over to Switch. So pretty cool. The vice president of Virtuos, Elijah Freeman, believes that it is possible for next-gen games to be turned into Switch-compatible experiences also. With the launch of the new Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 this year, developers need to strategize a plan for the game experience to be consistent across all platforms. At Virtuos, we are charged up and full of talent that is ready to help bring these new games to Nintendo Switch, says Freeman. So they do need to strategize for a consistent experience, but that's going to be more for like consistent across like the Xbox One family, more of the Xbox One X, the Series X, and a PC. PlayStation, I think, will be similar. Some of their games will probably come out on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro, along with PlayStation 5. And Sony is in talks about definitely having their PS5 exclusives coming to PC as well and on PlayStation Now. So as far as being consistent across those powerful platforms, yes. Being consistent to also include the Switch, no. You can't get a consistent experience even now porting an Xbox One or PlayStation game over to Switch, let alone plan a consistent experience coming from those next-gen consoles, the beast consoles that we're going to be getting. So I don't know. I could see not AAA. I could see indie games. I could see games like Ori, Fortnite-type games, Dauntless kind of games. Those type of things, of course, could continue to get ported over. But seeing AAA next-gen ray tracing, larger open worlds, faster load times because of this, all kinds of stuff that's going to go on, man, they've pulled off some very interesting things with bringing some ports over to Switch from this gen, but I'm just not sure how they're gonna really think about pulling that off. So let me check this out. Of course, the Switch will not be as powerful as the Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. No kidding. It is not as powerful as an Xbox One or PlayStation 4. But with a few adjustments, it's still possible to make major titles work on the Switch. Games like Doom and Skyrim are playable on Switch, for example, lacking some graphic fidelity but still providing the full experience found on other platforms. I do not agree with this. I think that it's awesome they've brought over these games. They've ported them for people to have access to them. Playing something like Doom, Skyrim, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, all those games portably is awesome. But they are not the full experience. They may be the full game, but they are not the full experience. And the term playable is a key thing here. Yes, they are just playable. Most of them have had to lose a ton of resolution, texture quality, frames. So a lot of games that would be 60 locked on console or faster on PC are more like 25 to 30 on the Switch. A big example of this was Wolfenstein, one of the first kind of big ports that came over. I got my physical copy when it came out. I was absolutely amazed that they were able to bring that game over to the Switch, but it was, for me, a bit of a blurry mess. I couldn't really enjoy the game and wound up having to go ahead and trade that in. But that was just for me personally, that I wasn't able to deal with that. But the fact that they could bring the game over and have it run was pretty awesome. So there have been rumors of a Nintendo Switch Pro, a refreshed version of the console with more powerful hardware. This would be important for keeping up with the new Microsoft and Sony consoles. Nintendo does not need to keep up, per se. Most people know that you're going to have a powerful console and or a PC, and then you're going to have your Nintendo console because of those first-party Nintendo games. Zelda, Mario, Super Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing New Horizons is selling amazingly well. I mean, that game couldn't have came out at a better time, honestly, with everyone being stuck at home. Nintendo Switch has sold out again in a lot of places, and they're working on getting those back in stock. That's both because of the sales and also because of the production of those consoles. So even if we don't see PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X games on the Switch, we might see more PlayStation 4 or Xbox One ports in the future if we get a more powerful Switch. Nintendo did say and pretty much confirmed that 2020 will not see a new Switch. I think they're saving that for next year. Let's hope they don't go out to 2022. I really think that would be too long. If we had the Switch Pro now, I could almost guarantee you would see Modern Warfare, you would see Warzone, and those type of games on Switch. And let me tell you right now, that would be awesome. I would love to be able to play Warzone on the Switch, but I do not want a ported, dumbed-down version of it. A really good example of this, if you have access or if you can YouTube a video, look at Modern Warfare running on an Xbox One S. Or another good example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey running on an Xbox One S. Then look at it running on an Xbox One X, and then look at it running on PC. When I was over my buddy's house and he was playing Warzone on his Xbox One S, and I've only been playing it on PC, a little bit on my One X, still looks pretty good on there. I kept waiting for the game to finish loading in the textures and everything. I said, is it ready to go? And he's like, that's it. It looks bad. It just looks really bad on a 1S. The fact that even the 1S can't make Warzone look good, it would look horrible and run horrible on the Switch, I am sure. So definitely not sure how they would go about any of the next gen games coming out on Switch. I don't think it's going to be possible. I think those non-AAA games, like I said, I think things like Overwatch 2, games that are like Fortnite or like Paladins, or games that are just typically easier to run, that they want to be able to run on a lot of hardware and get a lot of players in. Sure, for another couple of years, we could see some good Switch ports come over. But to keep getting these really heavy hitter games brought over to the Switch, it's just going to become less and less consistent of an experience, I believe. And I absolutely love my Nintendo Switch, and I love what they've been able to do with ports to come to the Switch. But for me, I can't really enjoy them. Even something like Dauntless. Dauntless runs on the Switch pretty well, but it's 30 frames per second. For me, for the past year or two, I can't do games that run less than 60, not too often. Some single-player campaign games, like Control, is a good example on PC. If I'm running full ray tracing and everything, I might struggle to be 45 to 55 frames, but I can deal with that in that campaign, and the game looks amazing. But when I'm playing a first-person shooter or something like Dauntless or whatever, 30 frames per second is just too much blur for me moving around. It bothers me too much. I can't enjoy the game. On Xbox One X, I believe Dauntless is 60 frames per second. I can play it on that console much better. But then on my PC, I'm running more like 90 to 120 frames per second on Dauntless, and the experience is amazing. So when they say providing full experience, minus some graphic fidelity, it's not just about graphic fidelity. How the game plays, how the game feels, and how playable it is really means a lot also. But with that said, let's hope we do get a Switch Pro soon. I would buy a Switch Pro today if it came out. I really, really love the Switch. I want to see a Switch Pro come. I want to see first-party Nintendo games look even better than they do now and take advantage of that. And I want to see more third-party games. be able to come over to the Switch, because the form factor is great, is really amazing on Nintendo Switch. So let's hope Nintendo gets on that update for us next year at the latest. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check this out. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, ring the bell. Leave your comments below what you think about Switch ports, Switch Pro, next-gen consoles, all that kind of good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.